taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut, season off top, you stop breathing.
Yeah, what's good, Joe? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Man, you know what it do, man. Jesus Shuttleworth, the God, GOAT artist, LB, Lauderdale boss, ringangradio.com in the building.
Yes, sir.
Late as usual.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the niggas be, because we be warming up in the
world is a op, nigga.
That's what we.
Yeah, we be warming up hard body over here, man. Pause. Like,
yeah.
we be in the blue room or the green room, whatever the fuck you call it, like.
Yeah, cracking all types of jokes and shit.
Yeah, so we get to then pause with the chilling shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's real as fuck.
Yeah, you said we on something today, man. Let's go.
Yeah, and of course I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey yo, what's good? You already know who this is. Your boy King P, Bodega Box in the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's go.
So you already know King P Bodega P. So who is banned from the bodega this week?
Not a who, but a what.
Oh,
headbutts.
Yes, headbutts and baked beans will not be in the bodega anytime soon. We will not be serving baked beans in the bodega. So
how about headbutts and Philly cheeses?
Philly cheese without the headbutts. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because I think I actually more than enough fucking headbutts. Like, geez, and last but certainly not least, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's good? It's your boy Conscious Pod, aka the West Coast Avenger, #1 contender, preparing for liftoff. Destination Ring Radio. Let's fly.
Yes, sir. Conscious Pilot stays elevated above the clouds. You dig? So yeah,
why this nigga went into his Glorilla voice though? Like, why this nigga got all deep voice and shit? Like, nigga, like, if you get high, you supposed to lose your voice. How did you 2,000 feet up in the air?
Nah, we just took off. We must get higher. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry.
All right, my bad, Pat.
Give him some time. He'll be cruising.
We'll be in pilot mode. We'll be good.
So yeah, man, we had a hell of a weekend of boxing. There was a lot of boxing, man, and a lot of things going on, and particularly in the UK, where we had one IBF featherweight champion Josh Warrington defending his belt against Luis Alberto Lopez, who is signed to Top Rank. And as we mentioned before, Lopez had been beasting lately. As of late, taking some zeros and some ass whoopings, and Warrington has been kind of shaky, since he got brutally knocked out by Laura.
I feel like the roles reversed though. Like the one nigga who was supposed to show up like Battle Cat ended the fight like Cringer, and the other nigga who we thought was gonna get his ass whooped and stopped and just destroyed, made it to the final bell. Like,
we had dubious tactics. Like,
yeah, dubious, and that's the thing. Like, I mean,
okay. Let's just get into it. Let's get in the motherfucking to it.
So,
we gonna really act like this nigga Josh Warrington hit record numbers for headbutts.
He was doing his best Chris Benoit impression.
He was
flying headbutts.
I feel like but y'all are overdoing it. Like,
I feel
Hopkins do way more headbutts than that.
I feel that people like overstate his dirtiness. Yeah, he's a dirty fighter, but he's not like the dirtiest fighter.
But it was blatant. It was very blatant.
Nah, we've seen way dirtier than that. Get the fuck
out
of here. He's rough.
Dirtier, but this was pretty dirty. I don't care.
It was a pretty dirty fight, and it
was dirty, but okay, it looked like one person watched film and tape, and the other person didn't. It looked like Lopez was trash in that fight. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Lopez, he lost that fight like more than like he won it to me. Like he literally did fuck all. Like, he turned into Arthur Abraham in the second half and just was complaining to the ref. Like, he kept getting hit with the left hook that Warrington landed on Lopez throughout the fight.
He was getting stunned and backed up, bro. A lot.
Dude. It was the best punch of the night. Like, the best punch of that whole fight was Warrington's left hook.
Lopez, I mean, even though there's maybe
the left
headbutt,
the left hook headbutt combination was an A+1.
but even
all of them weren't even headbutts. Yeah, there was that one he did headbutt him afterwards, but dude, look, and that's why I said watching the film, everyone had jokes for Buddy McGirt, never seen a Dylan White fight. Nigga, Lopez was cocky as fuck. Everybody knows Warrington with the headbutts, just that rough fight. He has all his distance, all his youth, all his athleticism, and he just jittered about, and he couldn't control Warrington, couldn't outjab him, couldn't do nothing with him. If you know a dude needs to be launching headbutts at you and get in close, why the fuck are you letting him get in close all the time? Does your jab not work?
Yeah, that was the one thing that.
So it's like, I don't want to hear these complaints about the fucking headbutts.
No, I mean the fight was rough.
When you got two hands.
Yeah, like Warrington was, you know, he started with the bullshit. Like after, but the reason why he started with the bullshit because
and
Lopez,
that's not even counting the rabbit punches either, because he definitely hit.
Nah. The rabbit punch is Lopez's fault. Lopez was literally turning his fucking head, running. Get the fuck out of here. Like, y'all niggas, it's like, honestly, I think people wanted Lopez to look good,
to win so bad.
Because they got the fight wrong.
And because they hate,
I'm just going overboard.
Yeah. Warrington gets a lot of hate too. I mean, like Warrington, I really hate it.
He does.
But it's
because of the
it goes both ways because most people wanted Warrington to win. Because one thing's for sure, I think Warrington definitely declined physically because Warrington used to be a whirlwind of fist.
But see, and that's what makes
that
it worse.
Like
Lopez should have put his foot in his ass. It's like this aggressive boxer, puncher, mover, whatever Lopez was. That shit was not in this fight. And let's not dude. If we're talking about like a dirty fight to overcome, you got to give me Holyfield Ruiz 1. Like, Josh Warrington was nowhere near on that level. This nigga Hopkins be dirty than a motherfucker, but everybody be sucking his dick talking about, oh, the brilliant craft. No, this nigga threw a fucking right hand with his forehead aimed at a motherfucker, and he's looking down at you, and he's moving to the side at an angle so you don't hit him back.
But the thing with that, Warrington didn't start out fighting rough. Like,
I give him that. That's why people be shitting on him now, because they know it's a protective measure he's doing.
Yeah, because the first couple of rounds, it was pretty much Lopez was fighting very freeform, but he was landing. But then also too, he was telegraphing a lot of punches, which I thought was, I thought maybe it was just styling it, but kept on, because I don't know, he kept on trying to force this wild uppercut that he was throwing from the ground, and he never really landed that uppercut. So I think it got to the point
Lopez was like he was just a completely different fighter than what I'm used to seeing.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Lopez was wild and ugly, so he didn't make things better on his end. But it was still enough to win the fight and win those early rounds. Win the two-thirds of the fight.
He ain't win that many damn rounds of me. Like, I could see a draw. If someone has Lopez winning, it's cool. I don't think it was no crazy, but it just like logistically, like I don't really see. It's hard to give Lopez more than 6 rounds.
Okay, I gave him 8.
Oh my God! Then your score is trash, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Like, nobody won 8 rounds in that fight. Like, yeah, nigga. Like,
like I said, it was either a draw to me or 7-5. Either way, I had it 7-5 for Lopez.
I can see 7-5. I can see 7-5 either way or a draw.
Yeah,
but 8 rounds. If somebody would have said, "Well, nah, nigga, Josh clearly had that. That's 8 rounds," I'd have been like, "Nigga, stop."
Mm-hmm. But where I started, where Lopez started losing me, because I was like, yo, because you fight in the UK, was the complaining. I'm like, yo, if he's dirty, you gotta be dirty back with dude. Like, he's not gonna stop.
Complaining.
Yeah, it was like he was turning his head, complaining. Like,
turning his back, turning his head.
Now, if Lopez did have,
dude would literally turn his head mid punch.
Yeah, Lopez was lucky too that he also had good footwork. Lopez's footwork and his defense were at least were keeping him honest, at least from like Warrington from knocking his head off. Because I think it was there, but it was just like. The complaining stuff. I was like, bro, you're in a fight. You have to beat up the champion's being dirty.
The champion, especially on the champion.
He didn't
that's why I was shocked.
He didn't really take no belt from no champion. Like
I was shocked because I think clearly, even though with the fuckery, Warrington won the second half of that fight, and definitely the championship.
Clearly, that's why I don't get like 8 rounds.
And the championship round. So when he lost that fight, I'm like, he's at home, and it was a draw 7-5 either
you
way.
could tell they was fucking with him. Like honestly, like he deserved at least a draw if you the champion for that. Like I didn't see Lopez winning that shit.
You're
at home, like nigga, like
because he fought better second half. I mean, he fought better second. He can, he fought way better second half of the fight.
Clearly better, dude.
Lopez probably won out of the first 5-6 rounds. He probably won 3, right? I mean, he was probably up like 3-2, 4-1, maybe, right? And then I felt like. With the headbutts and all.
You could give Lopez maybe 4 out of the first 6 rounds clearly.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I think I gave him 5 out of the first 6 rounds.
Maybe. I mean, you hate Warrington.
Nah. King P go overboard. Like when he doesn't like a certain style, he awards the style he likes more points, and he has a history of that. Like I already know. So. Like if King P comes up with an 8-4 score, objectively I know it's really 7-5. it's Pat got the right score. Like I can see 8. It's like it's like you're bending backwards to give what's his name the benefit for the doubt if you gave him 8 rounds. Then it's like, damn, you had this nigga winning rounds in the second half too. Like the fuck. Dude wasn't doing shit that time. Like
because pretty much it was just banking on whether or not that Lopez did enough in the first half of the fight, to at least
which is a shitty way to win a fucking fight against a guy you're favored to knock the fuck out of.
Yeah, so
Lopez doesn't even have a memorable punch in the second half. I don't even remember him doing like anything significant in the second half like that. Get hit in the back of the head, elbowed, in roughhouse.
Yeah, but
you're the stronger, younger dude.
Yeah, pretty much. The last 3 to 4 rounds. I mean, last 3 rounds, I could say that Lopez was just able to survive the roughhousing. That's pretty much what he did.
Yeah, like he survived a London mugging.
Yeah, and it was. I mean. I'm not saying. I mean, it was a brutal fight. It could have been a fight of the year. Yeah, had the work been a little cleaner, sure, it could have been.
This was the ugliest fight of the year. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like damn.
It was competitive. It was a competitive fight,
but I don't know. I felt like Leo Santa Cruz, Abner Mares rematch was rougher and uglier than this.
Oh no, I should have on that fight hard.
Do you see what I'm that? No, that's a hard fucking watch. But this shit was like Warrington didn't throw enough to make the fight get rougher. Like neither guy really threw enough to really just completely dominate the fight like that.
Mm-hmm.
It just if you was to break, like I felt like Warrington looked better in the half he won than Lopez did on his half.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the championship rounds, I mean, the last 3-4 rounds, Warrington won 3 of those 4. I feel like, towards the end.
Yeah. And everyone always be getting on Anthony Joshua for not fighting big, but then Lopez, like, what the fuck fighting was he doing? That wasn't fighting big at all. Like,
yeah. But like I said, hey, the judge. I mean, I honestly, because just the way I felt, I thought, yeah, man, they are not gonna give it. They're not gonna give this guy. It's either gonna be a draw or something. Like they're not gonna give him this fight. But so I was actually just surprised that they actually did give him the fight. I mean, because Eddie having a champion, like if it was decisive, I'm like, okay, yeah, he should win. But it was.
You know what, Pat? We fucked up. This is where we fucked up. Because they're not on the same card. but you could almost feel the vibe that this should have been the real co-main to Franklin White.
Yeah, right.
Because if they was on the same card, you already knew Josh Warrington was going to get robbed or not get the decision.
Right.
Because honestly, I felt like Franklin beat Dylan White more clearly than fucking Lopez beat Warrington.
Right, though, but now it's just like, but hey, I mean, that I guess, you know, maybe those UK judges like what they saw in the opening rounds and Warrington not really being super active, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
it's not the worst decision. The scorecards weren't crazy or nothing.
Yeah, the scorecards were on the level, so I can't. I mean, there was a draw and then two 115, 113. So I can't say the judging was fucking rough.
If I'd have seen like a 116, 112, I would have been like, get these idiots out of here. But
yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, Warrington now is, you know, Lopez now is a champion.
Niggas with a 117, 111.
Yeah.
Then again, I was like, hold on, nigga, like stop, like come on, man. But it was on the level, like, you know.
Right, though, but you know, but on that fight, on that same card too, and I definitely got to mention it before we move on, though. That Ebony Bridges fight, though.
Oh yes, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, put some respect on Ebony, because everybody think, you know, like people talk shit about her. She's not a good boxer. I mean, she's not that great.
I will put no respect on her.
Yeah, but she's not that great. But I mean, she put on a performance. I was impressed. I mean, I was actually impressed. I mean, you know, she ain't the most technical, but she's tough as fuck, and she usually knows how to use the weight.
Dude, like people, okay, this is the thing. People say she's not the most technical, not the most skilled, but is she really looking bad in what she's doing? Like, does she look any worse than fucking Salido? I mean, not Alex Salido, Orlando Salido, all these other brawler
types, yeah, those rock'em sock'em types, yeah,
yeah, like,
and that wasn't. I mean, again, that's another woman fight that put on. That was a damn good fight.
Oh yeah, it was.
She can't get into a bad fight, like, and she move her head sometimes too.
Sometimes she was getting clipped a little bit, but she did more than clipping in the end.
I mean, even in her loss, like, I mean, even in her lone loss, like, she gave Shannon Courtney a hard time. Like,
that's what made me a fan of her. I mean, that's what, like, you know, like
that was a good ass fucking
fight. I mean, you put respect on her. You have to put respect on how tough she was in that fight.
And so Shannon Courtney came back as well that weekend. So like,
oh, she fought last weekend.
Yes, yeah. She went 8 rounds. Yeah,
I heard about that. Yeah.
I need to see a rematch, because I'm telling y'all, that was the Mayor Baumgartner before.
I feel like that might have been the fight that kind of sparked this women's renaissance.
It honestly, like, yo, to be honest, I think it was, or if it wasn't,
not renaissance,
it was like the second match. It was the second fire after Harper Jonas.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That whole summer of Eddie's Mandingo series and shit like that was going on.
Yeah,
like that.
So you could go back to say Katie Taylor and Pursoon won.
Yeah.
But during the time,
2019 is where women's boxing, I think, turned a corner. So I remember, LB, your tweet after that British fight, you were like, this was the first time that in how many years that I think women's boxing was actually more fulfilling than men's boxing. And I was like, you know what, low key, you were probably right.
I know I'm right, dude.
No, I think I remember. I wasn't part of the podcast back then. I think I saw that tweet, and it kind of got me, like, into women's boxing a little bit, you know, because I was reluctant before, you know what I mean? So I remember that shit. Yeah.
Just think about, like, all the fights we've got from the women. We've got every single fight we've gotten. It's gotten to the point that we got spoiled, and we wanted to see rematches this year. Mm-hmm. That's how bad it was. We got Taylor Serrano. Mm-hmm. What else? Baumgartner Mayer, Shields Marshall. Mm-hmm. Fucking the Bridges fight. Was the Callie Reese fight this year?
There was an Australian women's fight. There's this low key Australian women's fight that kind of went hard as fuck, like this little 6.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. That. Yeah, that one they were bleeding over the place. That was the Devin Haney shit. Yeah, that fight went hard.
Yeah. That was hard. Sugar Neeks, I think her name was Sugar Neeks.
Yeah.
The cutie, as I like to call her.
Yeah, she's cute. She's cute. She's fine. Yeah.
Fun as hell.
No, I mean, these women are taking more chances, risking their zero or risking their record, than men are. It seems like.
And they're giving you better performances. And you know what? Thinking back, I think your Pilot's right. I think the reason why, I won't even say it's Pursuing Taylor or anybody else, because it was Courtney Bridges were the first women to really have that animosity breakthrough on the mainstream.
Yeah,
maybe didn't break over to the US like that, but if you was in the boxing world, you seen it.
Yeah. And obviously her eye all fucked up. That was kind of a funny thing, her eye.
But they made a good fight too after all the shit talking, and it was a title fight. So you know what? I think you're right. I'm gonna just give them the credit. It really was them, because you noticed them. More people started talking shit. Almost every Bridges opponent has that narrative where they're like, this bitch a stripper, she a skank,
she's a hoe,
she can't fight, she a hoe, she's in her knickers, she's doing this, she this that,
she's her tits for glory.
Tits for glory, this is bimbo, this Barbie. Meanwhile, dudes is like hitting up Bridges oh, my daughter, she loves you, this that, she's into boxing, now she watches the whole boxing with me, this that. And I'm like, yeah, she's changing the sport.
And although I still feel sorry for Eddie when they have to do the stand, because Eddie has to look forward.
He be looking for it like a motherfucker.
Every time she teases him for it, it's pretty. It's like running joke.
I think it's probably the only time you see Eddie really uncomfortable. He's like, God damn it, this broad
look.
We can't look. I can't look.
But see, and one thing I give Bridges credit for. She made these broads, these females, these women out here, boxers, take the weigh-in more serious.
Right.
Because before Bridges was doing her thing, women would just be like, fuck it, I'll be wearing some my homeboy boxers, these drawers, got a hole in it. They showing up like Bra Man came down on the 5th floor. Now these broads is like, fuck, I could look sexy, let me get the little Versace underwear panty set. Let me get the little Fendi bra. Let me play this up. Hold on. The zebra this, nigga, that. They didn't care about that shit before Bridges was doing that shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't ever remember Christy Martin doing any of that shit.
None of these women do none of them.
I don't think Christy Martin could have pulled that off, but whatever.
Dude, some of these women can't pull it off now, and they're doing it.
Right, they're trying because they realize that somebody out there likes it.
and there's the sponsorships and all of that. And then some of them actually look good enough to pull it off. So why not?
Then again, I guess I'm gonna throw up in my mouth saying this. I guess if Salem Urbina can do it, then anyone can do it.
You see what I'm saying? She empowered even the Scud missiles and
the naked Morat looking.
Now, of course, now they're embracing sponsorship by OnlyFans, and of course that in itself is another.
I mean Andy Ruiz has OnlyFans. It's just kind of crazy,
Well, that's why I say that in itself is the only time, because OnlyFans and these fighters being sponsored by them, and then they'll make it all time. Although there's nothing wrong with I guess because our friend.
It depends on what you're trying to do, man.
Right.
Bridges, everyone was begging for her to make an OnlyFans because it was just obvious. It was she
was
really
Fox and shit,
people so that's why I don't knock her. As far as the skills, first of all, she persistent as fuck. And she sticks to the game plan. McConnell was fucking her up in the first couple of rounds.
She was.
McConnell. She was tagging her. I was worried at first. The first round, especially, she was getting beat up.
Oh, she wobbled her, bro.
She wobbled her bad.
And the thing is, what McConnell was doing that was good, she saw that little space, that opening on the side for the right hand, because Bridges wasn't protecting herself. And so she was landing in at will. But the thing that fucked her up was she stayed in the same spot after she threw it. And Bridges caught on to that and just said, fuck it, I'm going to throw it too. Mm-hmm. And then it's like Bridges is going forward, McConnell's going backwards, squared up, trying to throw the same punch. You know, Bridges is going to get there first, boom. And she kept trapping her on the ropes, and they kept doing these little Bradley Provodnikov exchanges. And McConnell was just getting the worst of it. And
right.
I'm surprised she lasted that long, but
I mean, she did get dropped by one of those shots too.
Yeah, easily, man. But and she walked right into it, and it's like, but it's the thing, she was still landing and fighting back on Bridges hard. Like honestly, I didn't even see it getting stopped.
Well, I mean,
like, she was still fighting back. Like,
well, I mean, when he dropped her with that left right hook, I mean, with that left and right, that 1-2, I was like, damn, okay. Then that kind of turned the tide of the fight. Once that happened, it was pretty much.
Yeah, then McConnell she gassed out, and then after that she didn't have anything to offer. Bridges was just, you know,
and the defense, man.
Yeah,
like Bridges people was like Bridges defense is bad.
Well, no,
McConnell's defense was even worse.
Yeah, that was
and,
worse.
And that's what be happening. Like Bridges make people defense just get worse than hers. I don't know what. It's like a superpower.
Yeah. She does what she does good. I mean, she's like
she's strong. She's very like don't let the big breast fool you. She's very strong.
Woman, yeah. She knows how to use her. You know,
that helps her come forward. Like you can't stop some big titty chick from pushing on upon you. Yeah, like I mean, this sounds like a joke, but it's serious.
It's true. Did y'all see real quick? Did y'all see the post conference, post fight after Ammo and Cash when they got into it?
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, Felix Cash was struggling like crazy.
Honestly, Felix Cash is trash. Like
nigga was looking like Felix EBT or something. Yeah,
you know, I'm moving for Ammo. I thought before the fight, you know, I thought this be too early for it, but Ammo, if it's head rice, Ammo should be able to beat it.
Ammo is going to flatten that dude within probably 5 rounds.
The dude he was fighting a rematch in a real training camp, he probably does it.
Yeah, I mean, Cash gassed out and after 2 rounds, and then had to have to go the distance. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's why he had all that energy in the interview. Yeah, that shit, you know, it reminded me of Lennox and Vitali. When Lennox Lewis, he has all this energy for Larry Merchant to wrestle the mic, but he couldn't do nothing when Vitali hit him with 4 straight jabs. Like,
no, what's funny? Like Ammo on commentary, he started off kind of respectful, but slowly but surely he got more disrespectful.
Yeah, he's like,
trash. Because they got disrespectful on. Yeah, like Ammo was getting disrespected by like mad people, like, and he was just being cool. So at least with the whole, but yeah, he kept it real. But yeah, Felix Cash wasn't no world beater. Like, he was supposed to be a prospect, but then the jobber had the jobber actually put his foot on the gas, he could have gotten him. Cash could have probably been in some trouble, but yeah, he was trash. And then, you know, Cash had the nerve to push dude and talking all this shit, this, that, and the third. Like, bruh, where was all this? Where was all that?
He was embarrassed.
Where's all the aggression when he tired out?
I mean, he only beat that dude by like 2 points.
The first round, like after the first round, I was like, okay, Felix Cash about to knock this guy out, you know. But it's like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah. Then after that, his nose started bleeding, and then that all she wrote. Yeah. Then the dude was just like, he was messing.
Bleeding from the mouth.
Yeah, dude is not. He's Eddie better cut his losses before dude gets brutally knocked. Well, Ammo's gonna brutally knock him out, and we're all gonna laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a decent card from Eddie Hearn. You know, like I said, it was it was a good little warm up for all the other stuff that's gonna go down, and